Hi there BookTube, it's Eleanor here and Tracy is on camera this morning. Hello. We are en route, aren't we Tracy? We're on the M25 on our way to Hammersmith for 9 Worlds.
You may not believe us because the traffic is moving, but we are on the M25.
Yeah, it doesn't always move this fast, but it is only 6:40 in the morning, so we're only just hitting a little bit of traffic. We're very excited. We're going to be meeting up with Elizabeth from Books and Pieces and Caitlin from KittyG, and I'm going to try and vlog the experience again. I did a vlog last year talking about the panels I went to, and hopefully I'm going to talk a little bit about the panels and the experience this time. It's very difficult to film sometimes at 9 Worlds because there's, which is brilliant, there's a lot of policies in place for people that don't want to be on social media. You can wear different lanyards, people don't want to be photographed, and so obviously in certain panels and around certain people you just can't film, and obviously I want to be respectful of that, so I will do the best I can, and I will try, if nothing else, when I come out of panels to give you a little lowdown on what I've thought of them. So yeah, let's go. Hi Tracy!
Oh, hi!
Hi Caitlin! So what are we all going to first? Tracy, what are you going to first?
I've forgotten what it's called, but it's about diversity and...
Is it Not So Stories?
Yes, that's right, and own voices.
And Caitlin, what are we going to first?
Education at Hogwarts, because Harry Potter.
Okay, so we've just come out of our first panel and it was Education at Hogwarts. It was really interesting. I felt like the panel really warmed up to the topic as they got going, and we talked about a lot of interesting things. Why is there no pastoral care at Hogwarts? They go through all these traumatic events. Why is there no counselling? Why is there no one looking out for them? We looked at things like, do they even know how to read and write? Is there some sort of spell that means that they just naturally know how to read and write? Why is there no mathematics? What if you make a potion but you only want a third of it? Do you have to make the whole lot and then just waste the rest of it? There was just some really interesting topics that came up. And I just thought it was really interesting, and it was one of those things that I felt like we could have taken and just kept talking and talking and talking. There was so much to discuss. So I'm going to turn you round to the people here, the lovely people. There's Elizabeth from Books and Pieces, and Caitlin from KittyG, and Tracy from FlamingoReads. What were your favourite bits of that panel?
I liked the bit asking about have there been any long-term scientific studies into the effects of obliviates on humans.
Interesting. What about you, Caitlin?
Yeah, I think it's just really interesting topic as a whole, so I just like it.
Anything particular you picked up on, Tracy?
Why they talk about between rivals and they go straight into...
Oh yeah. Do you think that if all these things we talked about in the panel were like took place, there actually wouldn't be a Harry Potter story, because a lot of the things, things happen because they've gone off into the toilets and cried and seen as...
Well, if you go into fandom enough, there's some really excellent stories about what would happen if the adults in the Harry Potter world actually acted like adults.
Okay.
And it turns out really different, and it's quite nice because it's way less traumatic. Harry gets to be a teenager.
Nice. There you have it. I'm going to have to delve into the depths of Harry Potter fan fiction now to find out a bit more about this. But the start to 9 Worlds so far has been really good. My next panel I'm going to is about toilets in Fancy World, so I'll catch up with you in a bit. Hiya, so we're now in our hotel room. Say hello.
Hello, hello.
And we are just taking a little break, having a bit of a read. I'm currently reading Lifelike by Jay Christoph. I'm quite enjoying it so far. I'm at that first sort of 20-30 pages, so it's not really kicked off. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, so I'm going to read a bit of that before we go down for some more panels. But I didn't end up going into the toilet talk because it was really busy, and so myself and Caitlin ended up going into a cyberpunk talk, and cyberpunk isn't something that I know very much about, and it ended up being really interesting actually. I think I still am not 100% sure I understand everything. But it was really interesting to hear them talk about cyberpunk and the best ones that they've seen. A lot of them were animes and TV, sort of TV films rather than books. But they talked about Blade Runner and The Matrix. And some of the sort of more originals. They talked about RoboCop and things like that, and then they talked about things like Ghost in the Shell, which was I think an anime and then made into a film, and they were just talking about how it's changed and how you know, what are they looking forward to in the future from cyberpunk. What do they think is areas where it could do better and do well, and actually, yeah, it was quite an interesting talk, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I thought it sort of took a little while to get going, but then when the panellists got into it, it started to become quite interesting. They all sort of had a really good game background and anime background, and they all knew a lot about what they were talking about. So yeah, it was good. It was definitely an interesting one. And I've read a few cyberpunk, so I feel like I know it a little bit, but I'm completely clueless when it comes to games and anime and things like that, but it was interesting.
It was, and one thing that I noticed, which I thought was really interesting, was like the diversity in the room. In fact, I noticed that with Nine Worlds more than any other convention I've been to. Yeah. I mean, we had a trans person on the panel. We had someone that were with a disability. We have priority access seats in all of the panels, so there's plenty, and there's a lot of priority access seats for people that need it. There's people cosplaying, walking around. There's all sorts of...
The moderator wasn't a white person.
No.
So there's a lot of people of colour.
There was a mixture of male and female. Yeah. There was...
And non-binary.
Non-binary. There was... It's great when you go and get your thing, because you can put in whether you want blue, which means that you can talk to anyone. There's a red, which means please don't talk to me. And then there is yellow, which is if I know you, you can talk to me. So people that, you know, maybe not feeling that they want to talk to people don't have to. There's also a little sticker you can put on to say that you've read the access agreement and all the different things that come on there. And there are things like, you know, fine, if a panel is busy, you can sit in a priority access seat, but you just have to be aware that if someone comes in and they have priority access, you'll need to get up and leave that to them, whether even that, if that means you end up having to leave the panel, which I think is brilliant. Yeah, and you've also got stickers to put on for your pronouns, so whatever pronoun you are, and if it wasn't on the list, there was spare sheets of sticky labels there that you could put your pronoun on. Yeah, I really enjoyed that diversity, and that panel really was a really good sign of, you know, and there was people from different countries, wasn't there? There wasn't everyone from the same country. Yeah, it was really good. So very eye-opening. So, and then at 8:30, we're going to see Nightmare Live. Now, if you're old like me and Tracy,
rude,
like me and Tracy, you might remember Nightmare with the helmet and the people that had to guide them round. Oh my god, it was just such a big part of my childhood.
Sounds so rubbish.
Watching. It doesn't sound rubbish.
It sounds absolutely crazy to me.
It was just so good. If you haven't watched Nightmare, you need to look it up on the internet just to give yourselves an idea. But there is a show tonight which is about just under 2 hours long, which is Nightmare Live, and it's a show that's been on at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, which is basically they're recreating Nightmare. So there'll be someone from the audience that has been I think you could email them to say you want to be part of the show. So there'll be people going up, putting the helmet on, and then, oh, I just can't wait. I'll try and get some clips.
Thank you. So, Traydard, hero of Dunshelm. Yes. Gonna lead some more blind children to their deaths. Well, I've got to say, Traydard, I've got a few little things up my sleeve. I've got an upgrade to one of my monsters. Some goblins. I need you to arrange some random holes in the floor. Anyway, this random. And then prick the snakes with a stick. Gets them really riled up. And then find my bumper book of anagrams. Because this is Nightmare Live!
I'll try to be better as best I can for the moves in the room. Three special guests face a perilous quest. Yes, they will face off against Lilith's Dungeon of Fear. One shall be blind to the world inside the helmet of justice. It seems unfair, doesn't it? It is. They'll be guided by two special guests with microphones. They will face off against terrifying monsters. Evil magic. Word puzzles. Yeah, you can't get through a dungeon without a word puzzle. I get you. I think we've covered the bases. I'm not sure. I think we've covered the bases. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Hello.
You're fun. What is your name, little imp?
It is Darren.
Darren.
Yeah.
Then what is his name? Are you on a quest?
Am I what?
On a quest?
Yes, I am.
Morning, guys. So it's day 2 of 9 Worlds. This is what I'm wearing today. Whoop. And this is what Caitlin's wearing today. Whoop. And this is what Tracy's wearing today. Whoop.
What's the whoop for?
I don't know. So we are off to have some breakfast, and then we've got loads of stuff going on today, so I will catch up with you a bit then. Bye! Hi, so we've come out of our first 2 panels of the day. The first one we went to was a Bifrost panel talking about Norse books. It was by a book blogger, and I was quite interested. It's something that I've not really dipped my toe into, apart from the obligatory
Percy
Jackson and
something.
Well,
Greek,
the Magnus Chase ones,
Chase, yeah.
which I'm not a fan of, unfortunately. Sorry, Rick Riordan fans. But there were some other ones mentioned that I thought sounded quite interesting, so I'm going to have a look a bit more into those, because I would like to maybe delve into a bit more of that, but I just not found anything apart from films that I've enjoyed.
Yeah, I feel like we were saying earlier, we kind of want like the slightly darker side, and a lot of the recommendations were quite young. And we kind of want the gritty,
and more
like
romancy. We wanted
gods warring and, you know, fighting
blood.
and gore.
Gore.
So any recommendations, let us know.
Let us know. And so that was really good. And then we wanted to go to this MMORPG event, which we thought, from the sound of it, would be like the one we went to last year, which was brilliant. I've never done any RPG in real life. The only thing I've experienced is coming last year, and it was like a D&D.
D&D, yeah.
D&D last year, and so and we knew that this panel was going to be run by the same guy that was the main guy of Nightmare Live last night, which was awesome. And it was really good fun, wasn't it?
Yeah,
there was 3 people that were called up on stage or put their hands up to be part of the panel. There was some dice throwing. There was the quest of the disappearing cheese board, and there was planes made out of breadsticks with pita bread wings, which was awesome.
Yeah,
really.
no, it was really funny. There was a lot of good puns.
Yeah, and it was a great way to start, like, Saturday
really
morning with a chilled way, and just
nice.
chilling out. So that was really good. And we've just been into the vendors area, and Rebellion Publishing are there today, who did 9 Fox Gambit, as well as various others, and they were giving away some free copies of books. So I picked up this one, which is The Quantum Magician by Derek Kunsken, and this one, which is Green Jay and Crow by DJ Daniels. Now I know that this one, they told me, is like Ocean's 11 meets the Expanse series. Sounds brilliant to me, a bit fast paced, excellent. This one they couldn't really describe too much, but it sounds like it's going to be an interesting one. They said it was great, so I thought I'd pick it up. It was the last one there, so I thought I'll just give it a go. I haven't bought anything else.
Not
No,
right.
I've been looking for a nice pair of earrings. I've got my little dream catchery, you can't see them, hidden. I've got my dream catchery earrings on today, but I was looking for some like, something a bit geeky and a bit, but I couldn't find
a huge
anything.
selection of earrings, I must admit.
No, Caitlin's wearing her red panda necklace today, which is very nice. So then we're having a bit of a break now. I'm going to try and convince Caitlin and Tracy to go to the board game lounge. I'm not sure if I'm at it yet, but you know, fingers crossed, I might drag them there. Otherwise, we're going to have a bit of a chill out, and we'll come back to you after the next panel. Bye! Hi, so we're back at the room. It's now quite a bit later. Caitlin's had a little nap. And we went to another panel. It was okay. It was talking about like attractive foreign.
Was it okay?
It wasn't great, was it? It was good for like an essay, but it wasn't necessarily that interesting. I think it was about attractive witches in fiction, concentrating mainly on Harry Potter
And Philip Pullman's historical materials.
So, and it was
short though, wasn't it?
It was short. It was like 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Yeah. We thought it'd be a lot longer, so that was a little bit disappointing, but it was okay. And then I went to the quiet room and did some reading, and then we went to the pop-up vendors, and I picked up this, which I'm really excited about. It's called Magic of Myths. This is a complete edition, Preludes and Overtures, by Corey Brotherson and Sergio Calvert. Now, I really like the look of the artwork in here. The colour palette is just what I like. And the story just sounds really good. So the story says, what if you had the chance to get away from your own life and become a hero? To have your tales of adventure and peril told across generations long after you're gone. Would you take that chance? Eve did, but the path to glory comes with unforeseen and life-changing consequences. Magic of Myths chronicles Eve's journey, a broken soul trapped within a world which is bizarre, dangerous and somewhat familiar. Fairy tales, magical armour, a freakish and insufferable stuffy guide, a myriad of monsters and a hidden benefactor, not to mention a few life-threatening labours. Welcome to a world of mythology where the power of imagination and mass belief is everything. But what's more real in your life, reality or fantasy? And what if fantasy is the only reality you have? So I think this sounds really good, and I wanted to support the writer of this who was here, so I bought this. And then myself and Tracy, who's there. That was a real smirky.
Tidying.
She's tidying. We went down, we got a bus and just went a very quick trip down to the local Waterstones, because, you know, why not? And we wanted to get some fresh air, and I picked up a copy of The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter because I keep hearing everyone rave about this author. Tracy said this one is really good. I hear about it from Lisa at Books and Smiles. I hear it about from Sarah, from Sarah's Nightstand. Yeah, just hear about it from loads of people, so I picked up a copy of this. I think it's like a crime, is it a crime thriller?
Yeah.
A crime thriller, and yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this one out. So we've now got a little bit of a break, and then we are going to Bifrost Cabaret, so I will... Hi guys, so it's now the final day of the 9 Worlds convention. Me and Tracy are just going to one panel today. Caitlin's off at her first panel. Our last one's going to be fiction about fiction, and then I'm heading straight off on holiday. So I'll try and do a bit of vlogging while I'm in Dorset and show you where we're staying, and then when we move down to Devon as well, and talk to you a bit about the books that I've been reading while I'm away. I'm hoping to get lots read, we shall see. And yeah, so far, final thoughts. The video last night was obviously us having a little bit of fun. We started a girl group called the Glitter Raptors. We feel like this is the next big thing in girl gang, girl groups. I feel like, you know, there's plenty of opportunity here for song and dance routines. Yeah, it was just a good giggle. We were having a bit of fun. And yeah, so I think this year's 9 Worlds has not been as good as last year's 9 Worlds, unfortunately. There's definitely been a lacking presence in authors and book events and events talking about books, which has been a bit of a shame. I mean, it's a wonderful convention for fandom in general. There's TV, there's gaming, there's anime, there's everything like that, but I do feel like we were lacking in the book side of it this year. There was only maybe 1 or 2. There was the couple of sort of Harry Potterish ones, which were interesting, but I felt like we were really lacking. There wasn't that many authors here, which was a shame. So I'm not sure how I feel about coming. I think next year potentially I'm going to go to Worldcon in Dublin rather than coming to Nine Worlds. And yeah, it's a bit of a shame. I feel like this year is only my second year coming, but there's been a marked difference in terms of how many authors and stuff were here, which has left it not being quite as good. I mean, it's been a great time because we've been with friends, but yeah, in terms of content, not as good as last year. Tracy, it's your first time at the con. What's been your experience? How have you felt?
It's been interesting. There's not as much, like you said, there's not as much booky stuff as I thought there would be, so that's a little bit strange, but I've been to some really good panels, but some not so good ones as well.
What would you say was your favourite panels?
I think it was either the one about education at Hogwarts, that was good, or the one about polar horror, that was really good as well, in fiction and in non-fiction.
No, I didn't go to that one, so what was that one about?
So it was two ladies lecturing, well, lecturers I think they were, and the first one was talking about like three or four specific expeditions where they'd gone really super wrong. Famous ones and not so famous ones. And then the second half, the other professor was talking about how the polars are, what's the word, are like just portrayed in fiction, like especially in films, like The Thing and Alien vs Predator. So that was really good as well, and yeah, it was really interesting, way better than I thought it would be. Yeah, and I feel like for me actually this year, my favourite talk was one that I wasn't meant to be going to, and I ended up at because another one was full, I think, and that was the one about cyberpunk, and I just thought that was really interesting. It's not an area of science fiction and that I've really sort of looked at, and it's definitely one that's now interested me a bit more. So yeah, so far I think that's my favourite one. I'm going to wrap up here so that I can get this edited and uploaded, because Wi-Fi is notoriously slow and bad where I'm going in Dorset, and I want to make sure that you all get to see the vlog. So yeah, I hope you've liked it, and I will catch up with you all soon. Bye now, BookTube.